Have you ever found yourself in a place where a girl was giving you all the right signals, only to find out you were completely off base and now you're the office joke? Or maybe you're the type who overthinks every little gesture, afraid to make a move because you don't want to end up in Cringeville? Well, my friend, this video's got your back. We're diving into a manga that perfectly captures the pain of misreading signals and how to avoid turning yourself into a meme. But don't worry, this isn't another high school rom-com with awkward blushes and accidental hand-holding.
Welcome to the real world!
Now an office setting, where adulting is hard and figuring out a girl's intentions is even harder. So buckle up and get ready for some serious lessons in navigating those mixed signals like a pro. And the manga is called Tokomori-san is completely defenseless. In front of a dank Windows PC, our lifeless protagonist Sugawa is working. Suddenly, in struts Tokori Mizuki, the undeniable beauty of this manga makes her entrance. She's got that perfect blend of beauty and professionalism, with long, jet black hair. Seriously, the shine on her hair could light up a room like Discord's light mode at 3 a.m. And those jigglypuffs, though she tries to shield them with a notebook. But one glance, and I can already tell she's got some top-tier personalities hidden under that blouse. As Sugawa's internal monologue gets momentarily sidetracked by Mizuki's assets, she hands over the A4-sized documents with the grace of a queen. But before our boy can even ask, what am I supposed to do with this? Mizuki is summoned away by a faceless side character to work on some urgent revisions. Just like that, she vanishes, leaving Sugawa with more paperwork and less will to live. With texte du harness and a stash of. And here's the kicker: in a matter of minutes, Mizuki finishes the revision so flawlessly that the side character practically worships her like she's the second coming of Jesus. I mean, if miracles existed in the corporate world, this would be it. And perhaps our boy Sugawa-kun is a bit too slow for his supervisor's liking. The faceless side character can't help but suggest he learn a thing or two from the fast and efficient Tokomori-senpai. But what this peanut-brained coworker fails to understand: some things, gentlemen, are worth taking your time with because slow and steady doesn't just win the race, it makes the experience unforgettable. Supervisors love her for her flawless presentations and relentless work ethic, while her coworkers adore her for that radiant personality. But to Sugawa, she's something even more special. I wonder why. So, why would the flawless Tokomori-san be laying there, just inside her apartment door, looking so vulnerable? That curve, that pose, it's almost like she's hit the reset button after a day of exhausting work. Sugawa, on the other hand, is absolutely floored by the sight. And yeah, something's definitely rising, but it sure isn't his job prospects. Then, to make things even more intense, she slowly turns her head and gives him a warm welcome home like she's his wife waiting for him at the door. But hold on, guys, let's not jump to conclusions. Does this mean she's into him? Is it the start of something more? Probably not. Sometimes, a little kindness is just that. So cool your jets, gentlemen. Next scene, Sugawa emerges from the bathroom, letting his coworker know that he's prepared a bath for her. Let's just say that our boy, who recently hit rock bottom and ended up homeless, found himself in an unexpected situation. Tokomori picked him up as a helper for her daily chores. Honestly, I've never wanted to be homeless so bad in my life, and if helping out meant maintaining those cheeks, sign me up. But here's the twist: after moving in with Tokomori, Sugawa quickly realizes she's utterly useless outside of work. She transforms into a plus-sized Umaru-chan as soon as she steps through the door. Lost in thought, our MC doesn't even notice the oversized Umaru-chan sneaking up behind him, and Tokomori-san grips the back of his shirt with a playful pinch, demanding his attention. When he turns around, he's met with the sight of his cute coworker, rocking a rather revealing outfit, showcasing some serious Mariana Trench cleavage, with a hint of seaweed peeking out at the edges. We know the author is a true man of culture, skillfully guiding our eyes with just a pen stroke to where it matters most, right to those milkers. With half-open eyes and a drowsy tone, Tokomori sweetly requests our boy to undo her buttons. And now, it's time to put your big brain to the test. What does it mean when a babe in a revealing outfit asks you to undo her buttons? Is this the green light for something naughtier? Does it mean she's totally into you? Of course not. When a girl asks you to undo her buttons, she's literally asking for help with the buttons, nothing more, nothing less. Maybe her hands are busy, or she's just too tired to do it herself. Watch how our exemplary Sugawa handles the situation with finesse. This is the playbook. Folks, when a babe offers you the opportunity to unbutton her blouse, she's placing her trust in you. Do anything out of line, and you'll turn that dream into disappointment real quick. Our MC gets it, he's in the presence of pure beauty. After taking a moment to appreciate the goddess in front of him, he does exactly what she asked, unbuttons her blouse. But then, Tokomori leans in and plants a sweet kiss on his cheek, leaving Sugwa blushing harder than a tomato. And no, not those cheeks, although who knows, right? But Tokomori doesn't seem to care what's going on in his head. She simply thanks him, finishes unbuttoning her shirt, and waddles off to the bathroom like it's no big deal. Ow, why did she kiss our boy? Does she like him? Is she teasing him? Or maybe she's just super into French culture and it's her way of saying thanks. Who knows? One thing's for sure, an hour has passed, and Tokomori still hasn't returned from the shower. Even for the most delicate of ladies, that's a bit too long. Worried? Sugwa knocks on the bathroom door to check on her, but there's no response. He opens the door, and what he sees is a sight he'll remember forever: Tokomori lying unconscious on the shower floor, like two perfectly stacked potatoes. Irishmen everywhere would be jealous of this view.
Damn, what is that, bro?
It turns out she fell asleep on her way to the bathtub, totally drained from work. But our kind and reliable MC carries her to bed, and you can only imagine the soft sensations he felt along the way. Must be nice, right? As Tokomori lies there peacefully, Sugwa gently touches her forehead, trying to comfort her. Suddenly, she asks if he's disappointed in her now, that he's seen how useless she is at home. But Sugwa, ever the gentleman, reassures her, saying she works so hard that she needs to rest or else he'll be hard. Just as Sugwa is about to leave, she stops him and asks if there's anyone he likes. What do we do, boss? She's sending mixed signals here. But as we all know, sometimes women are just curious about other people's love lives, so maybe she's just being nosy. Or maybe there's something more. Let's dive into the backstory of how our protagonist ended up homeless. A few days ago, MC woke up in a capsule hotel, only to realize his life had taken a nosedive. Turns out, his apartment had been demolished out of nowhere. Now, for the smart ones out there, you'd know this is definitely a breach of contract. But who cares, right? The plot needs to keep moving. Faced with this disaster, our guy suddenly has to find a new place to live and somehow scrape together enough cash to make it happen. But let's be real, this MC isn't exactly the sharpest tool in the shed. His wide-eyed, clueless expression screams room temperature IQ. He's not planning ahead at all, just hoping things will magically work out. And then, just when you think he's hit rock bottom, he gets a text from work, an invitation to a drinking party for the new employees. Despite being broke, and against any sane judgment, our dumb hero decides to go. Because why not, right? A surprise. Surprise? Or maybe not, a certain sexy coworker is also at the party. She's all too eager to get Sugwa to drink more, which he hesitates about but ultimately agrees to. This girl is getting weirdly close to our boy, and you can bet there's more to this than just friendly office vibes. What could she possibly be after? His looks? His money? But let's be real, our boy's got neither. So maybe she's after something more vital. It could be your kidneys on the line. So stay sharp while waiting for the drinks. All our MC can hear are the endless praises showered on Tokomori. It's like she's the office deity and everyone's worshipping at her feet. After the party winds down, Sugwa says goodbye to his co-workers and heads out, only to stumble upon a familiar figure affking in a sketchy alleyway. Judging by the unmistakable volume and shape of those badonkadonks, it's none other than Tokomori. She quickly notices our pathetic MC lurking nearby and dismisses his concerns with a wave. At least, she didn't pee her pants this time. Small victories, right? Just as Sugwa turns to leave, some ramen head dude shows up out of nowhere and grabs Tokomori's hand, not letting go. Obviously, this guy's a catcaller, and I don't know where he found the confidence to hit on our goddess, looking like that. If I had his face, I'd scare myself shitless every morning just by glancing in the mirror. The punk is so bold, he straight up offers to take Tokomori to the hotel, conveniently lurking right behind them. And just like that, our protagonist channels his inner Gakachad and steps in, telling the punk to kindly it, which in French roughly translates to off. Before you know it, Mr. Rich Boy is in a taxi, heading straight to his co-worker's place. And let me tell you, taxis in Japan are not cheap, folks. Tokomori, in her tipsy state, casually hands over her password to him. So, what does it mean when your hottie co-worker agrees to let you into her room? Well, Joke's on you, she's drunk, and there's no valid consent, so nothing spicy is happening tonight. And after placing her safely in her apartment, Sugwa attempts to leave as quickly as possible, completely unaware of the chaos awaiting him. And the room is an absolute disaster zone. Dresses, socks, and makeup are scattered everywhere. And the bed, nowhere to be found. Our boy is baffled, searching for any sign of it, only to discover Tokomori sprawled out on the floor. Yes, you heard that right, she declares the floor is her bed. Furniture? Overrated. As long as there's a roof overhead, mankind can call it home. Guys, I think we found her, the girl who desires so little, she's practically on the brink of passing out. A sexy, sloppy woman who works hard and somehow manages to keep herself alive. What more could we ask for? Sugwa, being the cultured gentleman he is, agrees. He, too, believes that sloppy women like Tokomori are the best. And just as we're all appreciating this moment, Tokomori's brain cells take a vacation. She gets so relaxed that she manages to slip on thin air and falls flat on the ground. Oh Lord, save me for what I'm about to do. We've got a front row seat to those cheeks and a vintage performance straight out of an Under Armour ad. Tokomori has no clue about the free OnlyFans service she just dished out. She's too busy being disappointed in her inability to function like a normal human. But like a true Chad, our boy Sugawa steps up, drapes his coat over her, and offers to clean up the mess like the gentleman he is. However, the conversation shifts to his current living situation. When he casually mentions that his apartment got demolished, leaving him homeless and living in a capsule hotel, you'd expect concern, right? Wrong? Instead, Tokomori gets way too excited about this news. Without hesitation, she offers our boy a place to crash at her place. Sugawa is left speechless, living under the same roof with a hot female coworker. She even suggests splitting the rent 50/50. She's clearly trying to play it cool, but her adorable face is impossible to resist. Finally, Sugawa accepts her offer, and just like that, Tokomori scores herself a free helper. And damn, I wish I could trade places with him right now. Fuck. Life isn't fair.
It should have been me, not him! It's not fair!
The next day, Tokomori-san is gracefully eating her meal, looking like an absolute queen, while Sugawa and some of their coworkers can't help but sneak glances her way. Meanwhile, Sugawa is quietly eating his own food, trying to ignore the chatter of a coworker who's going on and on about how his wife always has dinner ready when he gets home. The guy's even fantasizing about being fed by his wife. Talk about oversharing. Fast forward to the evening, and we find Sugawa and Tokomori cooking together. But something's off. Tokomori looks like a lifeless doll. When they first started living together, their diet consisted of nothing but cup ramen, and now she's apologizing to Sugawa for not being able to give him anything in return for the afternoon bento. But our boy Sugawa, always the gentleman, brushes it off and says it's all right. Why? Because he got to see her in an apron for the first time and nothing else. Just an apron. Imagine waking up to that sight. Sugawa's inner monologue is practically screaming, "Anyone would be jealous of me right now." As he cooks up some omurice, you can tell he's genuinely happy. Even if the cooking didn't go perfectly, at least Tokomori gave it a shot. That small effort meant more to him than any gourmet meal could. While Tokomori-san is looking at our protagonist so cutely, she goes to him that she will do the ketchup. Sugawa tells her that it's a new one, so she has to remove the lid. Damn, Sugawa's skills are good. He might able to make a omurice restaurant. At that moment, Tokomori-san spills all the ketchup on her shirt. Sugawa tells her that they have to wash her shirt. Tokomori starts undressing herself, but Sugawa stops her. Sugawa thinks if she did it without thinking. Sugawa's self-control is truly unmatched, always on that mission to preserve his V-card at all costs. Tokomori, apologizing for troubling Sugawa, gets a sweet response that really shows just how much of a gentleman he is. He reassures her that she always does her best, so it's okay if she has moments like this. It's enough to make her blush, and our boy cleans her shirt like a true chivalrous knight. But then, as Sugawa comes back to find Tokomori knocked out on the couch, things get interesting. Your bra and panties are on full display, and you know everyone's holding their breath as Sugawa-san edges closer. We're all thinking, finally, is this it? But nope, Sugawa stays true to form, on that lifelong mission to keep his V-card intact. You can almost hear the collective groan as nothing spicy happens. This guy's resolve is unshakable. Just when you think things can't get any more awkward, Tokomori wakes up, scaring the life out of poor Shugawa. She casually mentions dreaming about eating Almora, and Sugawa, ever the blockhead, realizes she must be hungry. So they settle down to eat that omuris together, leaving us all wondering what could have been if Sugawa wasn't so determined to stay pure.